You may have a situation in your recording life when you have two pieces of audio that are recorded in two different studios. I get that sometimes if I'm doing duet narration, so my co-narrator will be recording in their own vocal booth and I'll be recording in mine. Both of those spaces are good quality spaces to record, but we've got different microphones, we have maybe just a slightly different acoustic ambience in the space that we're recording, but it's not hugely different. Okay, so this is not something that you could use if one person had recorded an outside broadcast and you were in a high quality booth. You're not going to easily match those situations with something like this. But as long as it's a good clean space for recording, not too echoey, then you can actually make it sound like these two people are in the same place. So to emulate that, as an example, I've recorded a piece of text and I've just recorded it with two different microphones. And these microphones I know have a very different sound. So the first mic you'll hear is the AKG C414, which I use a lot for audiobooks and things like that. Very clean, quite crisp sound. And then the Aston Element has a lot of bottom end, potentially a little bit more muddy, and these microphones are also very different in terms of their price point and stuff. So it's just interesting to look at what you can do with these two mics in a very good space. So first of all, listen to this. Oh, bear with me, I'm not on the right thing. Now listen to this. Morning made a considerable difference in my general prospect of life and brightened it so much that it scarcely seemed the same.
What lay heaviest on my mind was the consideration that 6 days intervened between me and the day of departure.
Okay, so hopefully you can hear there that there's a difference between the quality of sound on those. If you're listening to this through your laptop computer speakers, you probably won't notice the difference. You would need to be listening with headphones on or in a more higher quality, high fidelity environment. But for anybody that is, you'll notice there's a difference between the sound quality of those two recordings. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go into this track, which is the Aston Element, and into FX, and I've already used it, but just so you know, you can go down to EQ, match EQ, mono, and there we go. Now, we have three areas here: current, reference, and EQ curve. So current, that's the sound, the recording that you want to change. It's the one that perhaps you feel wasn't as good quality, that needs a different sound to it. So in this case, I'm going to use the Aston Element as the current. Reference is the file that you want to make it sound more like, and the EQ curve is what Logic does by magic to adapt the two EQs to make them sound the same. So here we go, current here. So we're going to do what we're simply going to do with this. Let's move that over. Take a section of the audio, this bit here, click it, drag it into current, and it has learnt that. Then reference, I think you have to click learn. I don't think it really matters. Let's just take that one, click that and drag it into there, and it's learnt that one. And then quite simply click on EQ curve and then click match, and hey presto, it's matched. Just going to put my headphones on so I can hear it too. Okay, and what we're going to do is play it through again, just to see how that compares. Morning made a considerable difference in my general prospect of life, and brightened it so much that it scarcely seemed the same. What lay heaviest on my mind was the consideration that 6 days intervened between me and the day of departure. Okay, so you can hear immediately that they sound much more alike. So let's just do a little difference. This is how scarcely seem the same.
What lay heaviest on my mind was the consideration that 6 days intervened between me and the day of departure.
Okay, now I'd say there's still a slight difference if I'm going to be picky. So we can fiddle with this and it'll just make an adjustment to the whole thing. So
that it scarcely seemed the same. What lay heaviest on my mind was the consideration that 6 days intervened scarcely seemed the same. What lay heaviest on my mind was the...
Okay, so there you go. You can see that from something that sounded really quite far apart in terms of their audio quality. By using this tool, you can bring them much, much closer together. I'm not saying it's something that can cure everything, but it is really, really useful for matching up to high quality studios. Other programs have this. It comes with as standard with Logic Pro, but it also comes with RX7 has an EQ match, I think. I don't know if that's with advanced or with standard, but I'm pretty sure RX7 has a EQ match. That's Isotope RX7, and I bet you can get these plugins with the other major DAWs as well. But yeah, this is how it works with Logic. I hope that's useful for you. Goodbye.